Welcome back to Quiet Science Journeys. Settle in exactly as you are. Let the surface beneath you carry your weight. You do not need to hold yourself up anymore. Tonight is made for resting. Take a slow breath in. Let it be unforced. And as you breathe out, feel your shoulders soften. Your jaw loosens. Your hands stop gripping for the day. We are going to drift through the Milky Way together, not as a race and not as a lesson you must remember. Think of this more like a nighttime walk through a quiet museum. You can look and then let each thought fade like a light dimming in the distance. Along the way, we will meet a few paradoxes, gentle cosmic contradictions that sound surprising at first and then settle into simple calm. Each one will be answered softly. Nothing will be left hanging. There is no need to stay alert. You can let understanding arrive in its own time, and you can fall asleep whenever your body chooses. Now, imagine a small, warm capsule around you. A room shaped by darkness and comfort. The air is cool but kind. The edges of the world are quiet. Outside, the Milky Way is waiting like a slow river of light. We begin at the gateway. The Milky Way is our galaxy, a vast home of stars, gas, and dust held together in one graceful spiral. It is so wide that light, the fastest traveler we know, needs tens of thousands of years to cross from one side to the other. Yet you do not need to picture every detail. Just feel its presence. A great slow turning around you. If a galaxy could be a landscape, this one would be a calm night beach. Stars like fine grains of sand, not packed tightly, but scattered with room to breathe. And you are here, safe and small, in the gentlest way, lying on one quiet grain of shore. Our sun belongs to the Milky Way. It is one star among hundreds of billions. It does not sit in the busy center. It lives out in a calmer neighborhood in one of the spiral arms. These arms are not solid spokes. They are more like soft streams, slightly richer, with stars and glowing clouds curving around the galaxy's middle. We call our local stream the Orion Arm, sometimes the local spur. The names sound like paths through a forest, and that is a good way to hold them. A long starry trail where the sun travels with its planets, including this small world that knows your breathing and your dreams. From far away, the Milky Way would look like a pinwheel made of light, a bright core, broad curling arms, and a faint outer halo that fades into darkness. From the inside, it feels different. We live within the disk of this pinwheel. So when you look up at night and see a pale band stretching across the sky, you are seeing along the plane of the galaxy. You are looking through crowded layers of distant stars, too many to separate, blended into a soft, milky glow. There is something restful in that. We do not stand outside the galaxy and examine it like a machine. We live within it. We are part of its slow motion. The Milky Way is not a distant object. It is the night ceiling above your home and the long story beneath your feet. Let's move gently through its shape. At the center, the galaxy thickens. Stars are closer together there. Gas and dust gather like a mist. The light is brighter, busier. Many of those stars are older than the sun, carrying the memory of earlier eras of the cosmos. Somewhere deep in that central region, is a calm darkness we will visit later. For now, it is enough to know that the center exists. Like a distant downtown, you do not need to travel to tonight. Out where we are, the arms are spacious. The gaps between stars are wide. There is room for long, quiet orbits. This helps matter settle. It also helps life. Not because the galaxy intended it, but because gentle conditions allow delicate things to last. Above and below the spiral disk spreads the halo, a thin, spherical envelope of stars and star clusters drifting in slow, looping paths. If the disk is a lake, the halo is a breath of mist rising from it. You can imagine it as a soft shawl around the whole galaxy, silver and cool. And between all these stars, there is space. A lot of space. Not empty like loneliness. Empty like a quiet room that lets you rest. It is the space that keeps the galaxy from feeling crowded. It is the space that holds the silence. Inside that silence, clouds of gas and dust curl slowly. They are the raw material of new stars. In some regions, those clouds compress and warm, and a star ignites. In other regions, they drift for millions of years like sleep fog. The Milky Way is not one fixed picture. It is a living tide making stars, scattering them, gathering again. You do not need to track all of that. Just let it be a gentle background truth, a slow breathing of a galaxy that continues whether you are awake or you are asleep. Now bring your attention back to your body for a moment. Notice the heaviness in your legs, the softness in your belly, the quiet behind your eyes. Each breath is a small orbit. Inhale, and your chest rises. Exhale, and you return. Over and over. Like the sun circling the Milky Way, in a journey so long and smooth that it feels like stillness. You are not leaving home tonight. You are noticing how large home is and how gently it holds you. The Milky Way has existed for billions of years. Your life is a bright, brief spark within it. That is not a cold thought. It is a warm one. It means you are supported by a structure older than worry. You are carried by rhythms that do not demand anything from you. Let the scale become a blanket, not a cliff. If your mind tries to grip onto a detail, you can let it go. Imagine that detail as a leaf on a slow river. You see it. You name it if you want. Then you watch it drift out of sight. We will soon meet the first paradox. Something that sounds strange, then becomes soothing. But before we open that door, rest here a little longer at the gateway. Picture the galaxy turning like a lullaby. Not fast, not loud, just steady and patient. A wheel of stars in deep night. Your breathing is part of it. Slow breath in. A quiet thread of starlight entering your chest. Slow breath out. The thread dissolves into darkness. The capsule around you floats onward. Past soft dust lanes that look like smoke. Past clusters of stars that shimmer without sound. Past the faint glow of nebulae like lanterns hung far away. No urgency, no destination you must reach, only the gentle approach of sleep. When you are ready, we will let the first paradox open softly in front of us. Stage 2. Paradox 1. We are moving very fast, and yet everything feels still. Let that idea rest in your mind for a moment, like a smooth stone warming in your hand. It is a gentle kind of strange, the kind that does not need to be solved quickly. Imagine you are on a quiet night train. The windows are dark mirrors. The carriage is steady. Your body is relaxed against the seat. Outside, the world is rushing past at high speed, but inside, you feel almost motionless. You could fall asleep without knowing how far you had traveled. The Milky Way is like that train. We are passengers in a motion so large and so consistent that it becomes calm. Our sun is not parked in space. It is always traveling. It moves with the galaxy circling around the Milky Way's center. The path is wide and slow, like a very long walk around a lake. The distance is enormous, so the journey takes a long time. A single orbit for the sun is measured in hundreds of millions of years. But the motion is steady, smooth, unbroken. And because the motion is steady, it feels like stillness. This is one of the quiet miracles of physics. When something moves at a constant speed in a constant direction, your body cannot feel it. You only feel changes. You feel a start, a stop, a turn, a sudden bump. But in a calm, unchanging glide, there's nothing to push against you. No jolt, no alarm for your senses. Think again of the train. If it accelerates, you feel yourself lean back. If it brakes, you lean forward. If it turns sharply, you sway. But if it moves smoothly on straight rails, you can read, breathe, or sleep. The speed could be great. Your experience stays gentle. The Earth joins that calm ride. It spins on its axis, giving you night and day. It circles the sun, giving you seasons. And the sun, with Earth in tow, circles the center of the Milky Way. We are nested inside motions within motions, a set of soft wheels turning together. This might sound dizzying, but notice how your body receives it. Your body is not afraid of motion that does not change. Your body is built to rest inside rhythms. The Milky Way's rotation is not like a rigid disk. It is more like a slow spiral dance. Stars at different distances from the center move in their own lanes like dancers circling a lantern. Our sun is one dancer on the outer floor, moving through a quieter ring of the hall. None of this is happening in silence, because silence is empty. It is silent because space does not scrape or grind the way solid things do. The galaxy moves through a vastness without friction. The wheel turns without squeaking. The dance continues without a sound you could hear. So, why do we feel still? Because you and everything around you are moving together. Look around your room as you listen. The walls, the bed, the air, your own breath. All are part of the same Earth. And the same Earth is part of the same solar system. And the same solar system is part of the same Milky Way. There's no part of you left behind to measure the motion. There is no fixed floor in the universe beneath your feet. The floor is traveling too. That is what makes a galaxy such a comfortable home. It is not a wild storm throwing you around. It is a steady river carrying you as one whole boat. In a way, this paradox is a quiet lesson about trust. Your body trusts motion when it is consistent. That is why you can sleep in a car on a smooth road, or in a boat on regular waves. Your nervous system learns the rhythm and relaxes into it. The Milky Way is the oldest rhythm you have ever been held by. The more you think about it, the gentler it becomes. We often imagine speed as something sharp and dangerous, but speed can be soft too. A gentle current in a wide ocean is still speed. A deep breath is still motion. You are moving through the galaxy right now. Your body does not need to react to it. Your body can rest inside it like a child sleeping while being carried. Now let's make this even simpler and quieter. A sensation of motion arrives when there is a force acting on you. When your speed changes or your direction changes, you feel a push. In physics, this is called acceleration. But in the long, smooth orbit of the sun, acceleration is tiny compared to the scale of your daily life. It is spread out over such a vast path that it never feels sudden. It is there in the same way that gravity is there, a constant gentle guidance, not a shove. That is why you are not pressed to the side of your bed by the galaxy's turn. That is why your tea does not slide away across the table. That is why your breath feels ordinary in your chest. The motion is shared. The changes are slow. The ride is quiet. Let that settle like snow in a lamp. If your mind wants a picture, keep the train. Keep the idea of moving fast through a dark countryside while your carriage stays warm and still. Or picture a leaf floating down a river. The river carries it quickly in the river's way. The leaf feels only the gentle surface of the water supporting it. You are the leaf. The Milky Way is the river, and this river does not ask anything from you. It does not need your attention. It does not need your effort. You could sleep for 100 nights, and the galaxy would keep turning. You could forget every fact you hear, and the motion would still hold you. That is the comfort hidden inside the paradox. We are not trapped on a spinning rock in a rushing system. We are cradled inside a set of steady circles. And if you notice any small fear in the idea of movement, you can soften it now. Say to yourself quietly, without forcing it, "This motion is smooth. This motion is old. This motion is shared. I am safe inside it." Let your shoulders melt again. Let your face loosen. Let your breathing find its own slow pace. The Milky Way is still turning beneath the ceiling of your night. The sun is still traveling in its long orbit. The Earth is still spinning gently around its axis. All of it continues. Not loud. Not fast in the way that startles. Fast in the way that rivers are fast. In the way that time is fast. In the way that sleep arrives when you stop watching the clock. Notice how little you need to do for any of it to happen. You are allowed to be carried. You are allowed to be still, even in motion. We will move on to another paradox soon, but we do not have to rush. Stay here a little longer on the quiet train. Feel its steadiness. Feel how the track beneath it does not end. How the night outside is wide. How your body knows how to rest. Take a slow breath in. Pause. Let the breath go. The paradox has opened and it has closed. You are moving and you are still. And both of those are gentle truths. When you are ready, we will drift toward the next doorway. Stage 3. Paradox 2. A galaxy full of stars, and still the night is dark. Let that paradox arrive gently, not as a question that needs effort, but as a quiet curiosity you can hold for a moment. then set down. Imagine a wide field at night. You stand in the middle of it. Far away along the edges, there are tiny lanterns, hundreds of them, maybe thousands. You know they are there. You can feel their presence. Yet the field around you is still dark. The lanterns do not drown your night. They soften it. They decorate it. They leave room for rest. The sky is like that field. The stars are like those lanterns. The Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars. So it seems like the whole sky should blaze with light. If there are stars in every direction, why is there darkness at all? The gentle answer begins with time. Light is fast, truly fast. It crosses the space between Earth and the Sun in a few minutes, but space is so large that even light needs time to travel. The Milky Way is vast, and the universe beyond it is even larger. When you look up, you are not seeing everything that exists. You are seeing everything whose light has had time to reach you. The universe has a history. It has an age. There was a beginning to the era of stars. Long ago, the night was completely dark because stars had not yet formed. Then the first stars ignited one by one, like the first candles in a long house. Their light began its journey through expanding space. But that journey takes time. A great deal of time. Some stars are so far away that their light is still on the road. It has not arrived yet. The night stays dark in the places where light has not had time to fill. Even inside the Milky Way, light can be delayed or softened. Between us and many distant stars are clouds of dust, not thick like smoke in a room, but thin and widespread, like a veil in the air. Dust does not stop light completely. It scatters and dims it. It turns sharp beams into gentle glows. So darkness is not a failure of stars. It is a sign of distance, time, and softness. There's another quiet part of the answer. The universe is not static. It is expanding. Space stretches slowly everywhere. Imagine a pattern drawn on a rubber sheet. As the sheet stretches, the pattern spreads out. The dots become farther apart. Light traveling across that sheet is stretched too. When light is stretched, it shifts toward redder, longer wavelengths. This is called redshift. You do not need to remember the word. Just imagine the light growing quieter as it travels like a note held so long that it drops into a lower octave. The energy spreads out. The brightness thins, so the farther a star or galaxy is, the more its light is diluted. It arrives not as a blaze, but as a whisper. Many of those whispers together become the soft band of the Milky Way. Beyond that, whispers become too faint for human eyes, and the night remains dark. Darkness is not empty. It is a gentle limit of sight. There is comfort in that. The dark sky is not a cold void pressing against you. It is a deep, protective fabric. It keeps the universe from feeling crowded. It gives your mind room to rest. It gives your body the night it needs to sleep. As you listen, you can picture the light of distant stars as travelers on long roads. Some have arrived. Some are still coming. Some are so far that they will never reach us before their stars change or fade. The roads are quiet. The travelers are patient. Nothing about that needs urgency. If your mind wants one image to keep, let it be this. Think of the Milky Way as a great city at night, viewed from a hillside far away. You see the glow of the downtown core. You see the gentler lights of the suburbs. Between neighborhoods, there are dark parks, dark rivers, dark stretches of road. The darkness does not mean the city is gone. It means the city has space. It means the lights are not packed into every corner. It means there is breathing room. Now widen that city until it becomes a galaxy. Then widen again until it becomes a universe. Darkness is the breathing room of the cosmos. Another layer of calm comes when you remember where you are standing. You are inside the Milky Way, not above it. You are looking across its disk through long, dusty layers. Some parts are bright, some are dim. The band of starlight you sometimes see in the night sky is not the whole galaxy. It is a slice of it from your viewpoint. A river of light seen through trees. The rest of the sky is darker because you are looking out of the disk into space that holds fewer stars, into the halo, into the edges. So, the paradox softens further. There are countless stars, yes, but they are not everywhere at once from where you stand. Their light is not all here yet, and the light that does arrive has traveled so far that it has learned gentleness. Darkness is the quiet proof of distance and age. Let that truth settle without effort. If you feel any small unease in the idea of vast, dark space, you can reframe it now. Darkness is not a threat. It is a companion. It is what makes the stars visible. It is what lets you sleep. Imagine holding a black velvet cloth in your hands. It is soft. It catches the light. It does not shout. It allows delicate sparkles to stand out. The night sky is velvet like that. The stars are embroidery. The darkness is the fabric that holds them, and you are here safe on earth, wrapped in your own smaller piece of comforting dark. The ceiling of your room, the warmth of your blanket, the quiet around your body. All of it echoes the larger cosmos. You do not need bright light to be safe. You need steady rhythm. You need a place that lets your senses rest. The universe has built that place for you every night. So this paradox is not only about astronomy, it is also about peace. A sky that is fully bright would never let you sleep. A galaxy that filled every inch of night with glare would be a restless home. The dark sky is a gift, a gentle boundary, a lullaby written in absence. Now return to your breathing. Inhale softly. Feel the air arrive cool and clean. Exhale softly. Feel the darkness inside your eyelids deepen. Each breath is a small night. Each pause between breaths is a small sky. The Milky Way's stars continue to shine. Their light continues to travel. And the dark continues to wait between them, patient and kind. Nothing about this needs you to stay awake. You can let the paradox close now. The night is dark because the universe is not infinitely old. Because light has a journey. Because space is wide and stretching. Because dust is gentle. Because darkness has its own role. And that role tonight is simple. It is to hold you. Rest here a moment longer in the velvet sky. Then we will drift to the next paradox as quietly as turning a page. Stage 4. Paradox 3. We live in an ordinary suburb of the galaxy, and yet that ordinariness is quietly rare. Let this paradox feel like a soft pause in the journey, a place where the thinking is gentle and the feeling is warm. Imagine a vast sleeping city seen from above. In the middle, the lights are dense and bright. Streets cross and crowd. The air is busy, but you do not live there. You live farther out, where the streets are quieter, where the lamps are fewer, where the night can stay dark enough for rest. From one angle that seems ordinary, many people live in suburbs. Many places sit away from the center. From another angle, it is a gift. Because the center is not always where life rests best. Our position in the Milky Way is like that. We are not near the core. We are not at the edge either. We are in a calm ring of the spiral disk, in a region that is neither too crowded nor too empty. Astronomers sometimes call this a galactic habitable zone, a soft phrase that means simply a place where conditions are stable enough for complex life to last. This seems almost too neat. If the galaxy is so huge, why is life here in this specific kind of neighborhood? Are we special after all? The paradox is that we are not in a chosen place, and yet the place is quietly uncommon. Here is the gentle science beneath that thought. Near the center of the Milky Way, stars are packed closely. When stars crowd together, their gravity can tug on each other's systems. Orbits can be disturbed. Comets can be thrown inward. The sky grows bright with new stars and energetic events. It is a dramatic environment, beautiful but restless. There is also more radiation near the center, more exploding stars over long time scales, more high-energy sources. Again, this is not a judgment. It is simply a different neighborhood. A neighborhood where steady, long, quiet planetary climates are harder to keep. Farther out, toward the extreme edges, the opposite problem appears. The galaxy thins. Heavy elements become rarer. These elements forged inside stars are the building blocks for rocky planets, oceans, and the chemistry of life we know. In the far outer reaches, the ingredients are fewer. The pantry is sparse. So, there's a band in between. A wide band, but still only a portion of the galaxy. A region with enough heavy elements to make small, solid worlds, and enough calm to let those worlds orbit in peace for billions of years. That is where we are, not because anything aimed us here, not because the galaxy planned a garden, but because when you scatter countless stars in countless places, some regions naturally become more comfortable for delicate complexity. Life does not need a throne. It needs a steady room. If that idea stirs a little wonder, let it be the gentle kind, the kind that lulls instead of sharpens. You are living in a vast system that does not revolve around you, and yet you are in a place that supports you. That is not contradiction. That is quiet harmony between chance and comfort. There is another layer to this paradox that can feel soothing. We often think that being ordinary means being insignificant, but in the galaxy, ordinary also means being safe. It means the events around us are slow enough to predict. It means the light in our sky is not too harsh. It means the night has existed long enough for your species to learn the taste of dreaming. Ordinary is not dull, ordinary is stable. And stability is what sleep loves. Picture your own life in this light. You do not need to sit at the center of anything to be real. You do not need to be the brightest star in a room to be needed. Sometimes the outskirts are where the best breathing happens, where growth is possible without pressure, where the sky is dark enough to show you the Milky Way. The galaxy mirrors that truth. Our sun moves through a region of relatively quiet stars. The distance between them is large. Their motions are gentle. Over the long arc of Earth's history, this has meant fewer catastrophic disruptions than a planet nearer the core might have faced. Not none. The universe is still the universe. Stars still age. Orbits still evolve. But the background is calm enough for a long story to unfold. A story that includes oceans, forests, cities, and a person listening right now in a dark room, breathing slowly. That is not a small thing. If you want a more restful image, imagine the Milky Way as a garden at night. In the middle, the soil is crowded with roots and heat. At the far edge, the soil is thin. But in a broad outer ring, the soil is rich and cool. Seeds can settle. Rain can fall gently. A tree can grow without being pushed sideways by too many neighbors. We are one tree in that ring. You do not need to hold the details. Let the image do the work. Let it tell you that the universe is wide enough to contain both busyness and calm, both fireworks and slow candles, both crowded halls and quiet corners, and you are in a quiet corner tonight. Another quiet truth is this. Even if stable regions are not everywhere, they're not vanishingly rare. The Milky Way has a huge number of stars. Even a small percentage of comfortable neighborhoods can contain billions of worlds. We do not know how many of those worlds carry life. But the possibility itself is enough to soften the loneliness that sometimes visits a human mind. You are not alone in a hostile cosmos. You are part of a galaxy that has many rooms. Some are loud. Some are quiet. Some are still forming. Some are old and steady. The Milky Way contains all of them at once. Your room tonight is one of the gentle ones. If your thoughts drift toward the deeper question of why we are here at all, you do not need to chase it. You can set it down like a book you are too sleepy to finish. The paradox does not need a philosophical conclusion for you to rest. It already offers a feeling you can use. The feeling is this: you belong without needing to be central. You exist without needing to be chosen. You are held by a neighborhood that is calm enough to let you sleep. Let your body take that in. Feel the weight of your head on the pillow. Feel the steady rhythm of your breath. Feel the night in your room and the larger night outside your window. Layers of quiet. Layers of safety. The Milky Way is not a spotlight. It is a shelter. This paradox has opened, and now it closes gently. We are ordinary in the galaxy's outskirts, and that ordinariness is part of what makes life possible. Ordinary is stable. Stable is peaceful. Peaceful is where sleep grows. Stay with that for a few breaths. Then, when you are ready, we will drift toward the next paradox, the one about the invisible weight that holds the galaxy together. Stage 5. Paradox 4. Most of the galaxy is invisible, and yet it holds everything together. Let that paradox sit beside you gently. It can sound mysterious at first, but we will keep it soft and simple. Nothing sharp, nothing heavy to carry. Picture a calm lake at night. The surface is still. A few boats float on it. You can see the boats clearly. You can see their lanterns, but you cannot see the slow current beneath the surface. Still, that current is real. It guides the boats. It keeps them from drifting apart. The unseen water is doing quiet work. The Milky Way has an unseen current like that. When we look at our galaxy, we see stars. We see glowing clouds. We see the bright spiral arms and the soft halo. But when astronomers measure how stars move, they find something surprising. The stars are orbiting the center faster than the visible matter alone should allow. If the galaxy contained only what we can see, the outer stars would swing around more slowly. Some might even drift away into space. But they do not. They stay in their lanes. They move as if a much larger mass is holding them in place. So we give a name to that unseen mass. We call it dark matter. You do not need to imagine dark matter as a scary substance. It is not darkness in the sense of danger. It is dark in the sense of invisible. It does not shine. It does not glow. It does not scatter light the way dust does. It simply does not interact with light the way ordinary matter does. We know it is there because we see its gravity. Gravity is a kind of touch that does not need a visible hand. When you do not see the wind, you still see leaves tremble. When you do not see the tide, you still see the shoreline change. When you do not see dark matter, you still see stars orbiting as though something large is holding them. So the paradox becomes a quiet truth about the universe. Not everything real is visible. Some of the most important parts of the cosmos are felt through their effects. This can be a soothing idea. Think of all the support you feel in your life that is not always seen. Kindness you can sense even in silence. Love that is steady rather than loud. A room that holds you without saying a word. Invisible does not mean absent. Invisible can mean reliable. Dark matter seems to form a broad halo around the Milky Way, extending far beyond the bright disk. Imagine a soft invisible sphere surrounding the galaxy like a gentle gravity blanket. Stars and gas sit inside that blanket. Their motions are guided by it. We cannot see the blanket, but we sleep inside its steadiness. If you want a picture, you can imagine the Milky Way as a lantern hanging in a dark garden. The lantern is bright and obvious, but the air around it is what carries the light outward. The garden's quiet shape and boundaries are held by something you cannot see. The lantern and the air together make the scene whole. The galaxy's visible stars are the lantern. Dark matter is the quiet air and structure holding the lantern in place. Of course, darkness in space has more than one meaning. There's also the dark dust between stars and the deep emptiness between galaxies. But dark matter is a different kind of dark. It does not block starlight. It does not make the sky black. It does something subtler. It adds weight. It adds glue. It makes spirals possible. Without that invisible weight, galaxies might not form in the first place, or they might form, then unravel. Dark matter seems to help gather ordinary matter into galaxies, the way a slow bowl helps water pool instead of spreading away. It gives the Milky Way a place to grow. And because it is everywhere in a wide halo, it gives the galaxy a gentle, even shape, a kind of quiet skeleton. Scientists are still learning what dark matter is made of. There are ideas, particles we have not yet detected, subtle components of the cosmic recipe. But in this journey, we do not need to chase those details. We are here for the feeling beneath the fact. The feeling is that the universe contains support you cannot see, and that support is not frightening. It is simply part of how things stay together. You already live with invisible support all the time. Air is invisible, yet you breathe it. Gravity is invisible, yet it holds you to Earth. Time is invisible, yet it carries every moment. Dark matter is like that, a background presence that makes a stable home. Let your mind rest in that idea. Let it be a soft widening of trust, not a puzzle. Now feel your own body again. You are held by your bed, by the floor beneath it, by Earth's gravity, by the sun's gravity, by the Milky Way's gravity, layer after layer of quiet holding. Most of these layers are invisible to your eyes, but not to your bones. You feel them as safety, as steadiness, as a place you do not fall from. The galaxy's invisible halo is far away, and yet it is also here because it includes you. You are inside it, the way you are inside the air in your room. So this paradox is less strange than it first sounded. Most of the Milky Way is not shining. Most of its mass is quiet. Yet that quiet mass is what keeps the shining parts in a graceful spiral. It is what lets the stars move together rather than scatter. If you picture the Milky Way in motion, imagine it as a slow whirlpool. The bright stars are like glitter on the surface, beautiful, easy to see. But the whirlpool's strength comes from the deep water beneath. The deep water is invisible from above, but it is what makes the pattern stable. In the same way, the visible universe depends on invisible scaffolding, and there is something comforting in knowing that stability does not always announce itself. It often arrives quietly. It often works in the background. Like sleep itself, sleep does not shout. It gathers slowly in the body. It settles in your muscles. It lowers the lights of your thoughts. Then, without a loud moment of arrival, you are in it. Dark matter is a cosmic version of that quiet arrival. Now, if you notice any part of your mind feeling uneasy at the word dark, you can soften that word. Dark here means gentle. Dark here means unseen. Dark here means the place where support can hide without needing credit. The Milky Way is not held up by something dramatic. It is held up by something steady. You are allowed to be held by steadiness too. Let your breathing slow. Inhale clean and easy. Exhale longer than the inhale if it feels good. Feel your body resting inside the invisible architecture of the night. Stars above you are moving in their quiet arcs. The galaxy around you is turning in patience, and the unseen matter is keeping that turning smooth, like an invisible hand guiding a wheel with no friction. Everything stays together, not because it is forced, because the universe has gentle glue, because gravity, seen and unseen, is faithful. This paradox has opened, and now it closes softly. Most of the Milky Way is invisible, and that invisibility is part of what makes the Milky Way a safe, coherent home. Rest with that for a few breaths. When you are ready, we will drift toward the next paradox, the one at the heart of the galaxy, where a black hole both devours and shapes. Stage 6, Paradox 5. At the heart of the Milky Way is a black hole that devours and yet helps shape the galaxy. Let the word black hole feel softer than it usually does. Tonight, we are not entering a place of fear. We are visiting a place of deep, quiet gravity, a calm center in a turning home. Picture a gentle whirlpool in a wide river. From above, it looks like a dark circle. Water flows toward it, spirals, then moves along. The whirlpool is not a monster. It is a pattern. It is a way the river organizes motion. A black hole can be held in a similar way, not as a hunger with teeth, but as a curve in space where matter gathers, a place where gravity becomes so strong that even light cannot climb back out. That is why it is black. Not because it is evil or empty, because it does not let light escape. At the center of our galaxy is such a place. A supermassive black hole called Sagittarius, a star. It is far away from us, deep in the Milky Way's bright core. The distance matters. It means you are safe. It means what we are describing is part of the background architecture of home, not something hovering near your bed. Here is the paradox. Black holes are known for swallowing matter. Gas falls in, dust falls in. Sometimes, even stars wander too close and get torn apart. That sounds like pure destruction. And yet galaxies, including our Milky Way, seem to grow with black holes at their centers. The black hole and the galaxy appear to evolve together like two dancers keeping time. How can a devourer help build? The gentle answer is balance. The center of a galaxy is a busy place. There is a lot of gas, many stars, many close encounters. Gravity is strong there, even without the black hole. The black hole adds a deeper anchor. It helps keep the core coherent. It gives the central region a stable focus, the way a slow drain at the bottom of a lake gives the water a place to swirl around. But the black hole does more than pull inward. When gas falls toward it, the gas does not drop straight in like a stone. It spirals. It forms a hot, bright disk around the black hole. In that disk, particles rub and heat up. They glow. They release energy. Sometimes that energy shoots outward in narrow beams. Sometimes it blows winds into the surrounding space. Those outward releases can shape the neighborhood. They can push gas around. They can compress some clouds, helping new stars ignite. They can clear other regions, preventing too much star formation at once. It is a quiet kind of regulation, a cosmic breathing in and breathing out. So the black hole is not only a sink, it is also part of a feedback loop, a heart that pulls and a heart that sends. We do not need to imagine this as violent. On human timescales, it is almost still. It happens over millions of years, over longer, slower ages, like mountains rising, like oceans carving shores, like sleep reshaping your memories without your noticing. The black hole's presence makes the center of the Milky Way what it is. And because the center is part of the spiral dance, its stability echoes outward. The arms remain organized. The galaxy keeps its shape. The whole pinwheel stays coherent instead of dissolving. So the paradox softens. A black hole devours. Yes. And the way it devours releases energy that helps structure the galaxy. Destruction and creation are braided together in slow time. If that feels unsettling for a moment, let it become soothing instead. Notice how often life works this way. Fallen leaves become soil. Old stars become the elements of new planets. Day ends so that night can begin. Wakefulness dissolves into dream. Nothing is wasted. Everything transforms. A black hole is one more expression of that deep cosmic rhythm. Now rest for a moment in the image of the galactic center. You can imagine it as a luminous city square, crowded with stars and clouds. At the very middle is a quiet well. You cannot see the bottom. You do not need to. The well is not calling you in. It is simply there, steady, giving the square a center of gravity. Around that well, countless stars orbit calmly in long arcs. Some are older than the sun. Some are young. Some are wrapped in dust. Some shine clearly. The black hole does not swallow all of them. Most live their full lives in stable paths. The center is busy, but it is not chaos. It is a place of deep order, hidden inside brightness. And far, far out in the arms where we are, that order becomes gentle. The black hole's strongest pull stays close to the core. By the time its influence reaches our neighborhood, it is part of the shared galactic gravity we already rest in. It is a background whisper in the river. So again, you are safe. This paradox is not a threat. It is a description of how a galaxy stays whole. Let your breathing slow as you take that in. Inhale softly. Feel your body expand. Exhale softly. Feel your body settle. The Milky Way is a turning home. Its center is deep and calm. Its arms are wide and spacious. Its halo is invisible and supportive. Everything we have visited is part of one continuous structure. Before we drift onward, let us gather the paradoxes we have met so far very gently. We began with motion and stillness. The galaxy moves swiftly, and yet because the motion is smooth and shared, your body feels calm. You can be carried without being shaken. Then we met darkness and light. The sky is dark because the universe has an age, because light needs time, because space stretches and dust softens. Darkness is a breathing room, not an absence. Then we met ordinariness and rarity. We live in a quiet suburb of the Milky Way, not chosen, not central, and yet just stable enough for life to unfold. Ordinary can be a shelter. Then we met invisibility and holding. Most of the galaxy's mass does not shine. Dark matter surrounds and steadies the spiral. Invisible does not mean absent. It means reliable structure. And now we have met devouring and shaping. A black hole pulls matter inward. The energy of that inward flow helps regulate and organize the galactic core. The galaxy and its center grow together in slow harmony. Each paradox sounded strange for a moment. Each one softened into a kind of comfort, a reminder that the Milky Way is not a puzzle that threatens you. It is a home whose deeper rules are gentle. Let that be the feeling you keep. You do not need to remember every detail. You only need to feel the steadiness of shared motion, the steadiness of a dark sky, the steadiness of a quiet neighborhood, the steadiness of invisible gravity, the steadiness of a calm center. Your own body knows how to rest inside steady patterns, so rest now. If your thoughts are drifting, let them drift. If your eyelids are heavy, let them be heavy. If sleep is arriving, let it arrive without ceremony. We are nearing the final paradox of the journey, the soft descent where scale becomes peace. But there is no hurry. Stay for a few breaths in the calm of the galactic heart. Then we will float outward into the last gentle doorway. Stage 7. The soft descent. The last paradox. The more we understand the scale of the Milky Way, the smaller we feel. And the smaller we feel, the more peaceful we can become. Let that arrive without pressure. It is not a lesson you must hold tightly. It is a quiet place to rest. Imagine you are standing on a shoreline at night. The ocean is vast. The horizon is far. The waves come and go in slow rhythm. When you look out, you do not feel threatened by the ocean's size. You feel held by its steadiness. You feel your own worries become small enough to float away. The Milky Way can do that to a mind. We have drifted through paradox after paradox, and each one has quietly said the same thing. The galaxy is large. Its rules are gentle. Its motion is shared. Its darkness is supportive. Its ordinariness is stable. Its invisible mass is steady. Its deep center is calm. When you let those truths sink in, something in you can relax. This is the tender trick of perspective. When life feels heavy, our world shrinks to the size of our immediate concerns. A thought fills the whole room. A worry becomes loud enough to feel like a storm. But scale changes that. Not by dismissing your feelings, and not by telling you to be different. Simply by giving your mind a wider sky. You are one life inside a galaxy inside a universe. And the universe is not rushing you. You are allowed to be small in a safe way, small like a candle in a quiet cathedral, small like a seed resting in cool soil, small like a warm animal curled into sleep while the night continues outside. None of those kinds of smallness are lonely. They are gentle. They are natural. They are how living things find peace. Sometimes people worry that thinking about the cosmos will make them feel insignificant. But insignificance is not the only meaning of smallness. There is also relief. There is also freedom. If you are not required to carry the universe on your shoulders, you can set some things down. The Milky Way does not ask you to manage it. It does not ask you to control it. It carries itself with patient gravity. It carries you along with it. You are not the center of the galaxy, and you do not need to be. The center of your night is right here, in your breathing, in your body letting go. Feel that now. Your body is a small, wise system made of rhythms: heartbeat, breath, temperature, tiny electrical whispers in the brain that become dreams. All of these rhythms are as real as any orbit, as meaningful as any spiral arm. The universe is large, yes, but your small universe is enough. Enough to hold you, enough to heal you, enough to let you sleep. Notice how the paradox turns into a lullaby. Knowing more does not flatten you. It softens you. It gives your mind a wider bed. Being small does not erase you. It frees you. It returns you to the simple truth that you are not alone in holding yourself together. The galaxy is holding you too, not with intention, not like a person holding a person, but like gravity holding a star, like a river holding a leaf, like night holding a sleeping house. Let that image become your resting place for a while. Picture the Milky Way above you as a faint arc of light. Picture its spiral arms like slow ribbons turning in silence. Picture the dark halo of invisible matter around it like a soft shelter. Picture the black hole at its core like a deep, quiet well. All of it moves. All of it stays. All of it is older than fear. And within that enormous turning, there is you, a warm body on a warm planet, a mind easing into darkness, a breath entering and leaving. There is no need to be bigger than this moment. Somewhere in your life, there may be tasks waiting, conversations unfinished, questions not solved. You do not have to carry them into sleep. The Milky Way has room for them without your effort. The night is wide enough to hold what you cannot solve right now. You can place your worries down as if you were setting bags on a station floor. The train will keep moving. The rails will keep carrying you. The landscape will keep passing. You do not need to stand. That is the gift of this last paradox. Scale makes space inside you. Space makes quiet. Quiet makes sleep. Let your breathing settle into that. Inhale slowly. Pause for a moment. Exhale slowly. Feel how the exhale loosens you from the day. Inhale again. A little softer. Exhale again. A little longer. Your body knows what to do. It has practiced this every night of your life. It does not need instructions. It only needs permission. So give it permission. You are safe. You are held. You are small in the gentlest way. The Milky Way is still turning overhead. The earth is still spinning beneath you. The sun is still traveling in its long orbit. The invisible matter is still steady. The dark sky is still breathing. The center is still calm. Everything that needs to continue will continue. You can rest. You can drift. You can sleep. This last paradox has opened, and now it closes softly around you. The galaxy is vast. You are small, and smallness is peace. Stay here for as long as you like, in the quiet outskirts of a turning home, in the dark that protects your eyes, in the gentle gravity that asks nothing of you. Let sleep arrive when it arrives. Thank you for drifting with me tonight. If you are already close to sleep, you do not need to do anything at all. Just stay where you are. Let the night keep carrying you. If you are still awake, that is also perfectly fine. You can simply keep listening or let the next breaths guide you down. Quiet science journeys will be here whenever you want another calm walk through the universe. You can return on any night when your mind feels busy or when you want a gentle place to rest. There is no schedule you need to follow. No catching up required. If this journey helped you feel a little softer inside, you are welcome to visit another episode later. Think of it like another slow room in the same peaceful house. For now, the only thing to do is rest. Let your eyes stay heavy. Let your breathing stay easy. Let sleep arrive in its own quiet time. Good night. Stay with the quiet now. There is nothing you have to reach, nothing you have to hold in your mind, only the slow rhythm that is already here. Feel your breath as it comes in. Cool, simple, unhurried. Feel your breath as it leaves. Warm, soft, letting go. Every inhale is a small arrival. Every exhale is a small release. You are floating in a calm night. A night with no edges you need to find. Above you is the Milky Way, turning so slowly that it feels like patience itself. Not a wheel you must watch. A wheel you can rest beneath. Picture the faint river of starlight stretched across the dark. It does not demand your attention. It is simply there like a quiet lamp in another room. The stars are far away. They are not calling you. They are only shining in their own steady way. And the dark between them is gentle, a soft velvet that protects your eyes, a space wide enough for your thoughts to loosen. If a thought comes, let it come. If it stays for a moment, let it stay. If it drifts away, let it drift. You do not need to follow it. Your mind can be like the night sky, open, spacious, not gripping. Your body can be like a warm ground under a cold sky, supported, still, safe. Take a slow breath in. Let your chest rise in its own time. Take a slow breath out. Let your shoulders sink a little deeper. Notice the weight of your legs. Notice the quiet in your hands. Notice how your face is softening. You are allowed to soften. The galaxy keeps turning, whether you notice it or not. The night keeps unfolding, whether you think about it or not. You can let yourself be carried. Imagine your bed is a small boat on a dark lake. The lake is smooth. The boat moves without waves. You do not need to steer. You do not need to look for shore. You are already where you need to be. Breath in, a gentle lift. Breath out, a gentle sinking. If you like, you can picture a slow drift through quiet starlight, not traveling to anywhere new, just passing through the same calm space again and again. Every pass feels softer. Every pass brings you closer to sleep. The Milky Way is a shelter overhead. The earth is a shelter beneath you. Your room is a shelter around you. 3 layers of quiet holding you in place. Let that settle into your bones like warmth. There is no urgency in the universe tonight. There is no urgency in you. Only the soft pulse of rest. Inhale, a little smaller now. Exhale, a little longer. Inhale, like drawing in cool night air. Exhale, like letting the night take the weight back. If you are still listening, you do not need to do anything different. Listening is rest too. If you are falling asleep, that is perfect. You can let the words blur. They can become part of the dark. Your mind does not need to hold on to them. You are safe to drift. You are safe to forget. You are safe to sleep. The stars remain where they are. The dark remains gentle. The galaxy remains steady. Nothing changes suddenly. Everything continues softly. Breath in, breath out. A quiet wave. A quiet wave. Let the waves grow farther apart. Let the spaces between them grow wider. Let your thoughts grow quieter inside those spaces. If a sound in your room appears, it can pass through you like distant wind. It does not need an answer. It does not need action. You are resting. You are slowing. You are sinking into the deep night. Picture the starlight above as a pale arch. Picture the dark as a kind blanket. Picture your own breath as a small, steady lantern. Lantern, blanket, arch. Lantern, blanket, arch. Let that gentle pattern repeat with no effort. The night is wide. You are warm. Sleep is near. Breath in, breath out, and again. Breath in, breath out. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Only rest, only drifting, only sleep.